Alright, what's going on, guys? gdoggcasey here, bringing you another StarCraft 2 Heart of the Swarm cast, this time featuring the red Zerg in the bottom left corner of Cactus Valley. He is our hero for this matchup. He is Worldisdoom, representing Team Para-OP, or Paragons of Perfection. A really sweet logo they got going over here. And his opponent, the Terran player in the bottom right corner of the map, representing Team Next. We've seen them before. It is GhostFire. Last time I called them Team iNexty because I'm friggin' stupid. I'm just going to stick with Next for now because that's a higher percent chance of that being the right way to say it. Okay, so we got a ZVT going on here, and guys, I just want to sort of take this, developmental of the game developmental time to apologize. It's been a little while since I've been able to upload on a more regular basis. I've just started a new job, and it's a good job and everything, but it cuts a lot of time away from my day, which most people are used to, right? But I was unemployed for about a month and a half, and I had all this time. I wanted to do all these projects and that type of thing. I've decided to cut out pretty much every other project that I have and stick to just casting replays and uploading my Final Fantasy videos, and basically just uploading videos because that's really what I want to be doing with my life right now. So I've cut away a lot of other responsibilities, not necessarily responsibilities, but sort of jobs or projects that I put on myself to do on a regular basis that was sucking up a lot more of my time, right? So every day that goes by that I don't upload a video to YouTube, it hurts. It feels like this is, if it's my quote-unquote dream and all to be a YouTuber and that type of thing, I gotta stay consistent. So this is what I am going to be spending a lot of my time on, my free time anyway. A lot of my time's going towards that job, darn job. But yeah, if you want me to cast your replay, then go ahead and send me an email at gdoggcasey SC2@gmail.com, and I will be happy to cast that for you. Just because I've sort of taken a little bit of a dip the past couple days doesn't mean I'm stopping. Oh no. In fact, now that it's the weekend, which right now for me it's a little over 12:30 at night on Friday, I am going to be spending a lot of my weekend casting replays and that type of thing. So I'm going to get caught up a little bit. Anyway, let's get into this game here. We got Worldisdoom here, representing Team Para-OP. I don't know too much about Worldisdoom. This is going to be the first game that I've casted for him. Para-OP is a team that I've had nothing but good interaction with. I haven't had a ton of interaction with them, but I do really like their team. I think they are solid, and they have good management behind them as far as I've seen, so happy about that. And yeah, so like I said, he's going to be the hero here. The Reaper is coming in. So far everything has been pretty standard. This drone looks like it probably won't go down as the links pop out just in time. The more and more Zerg games you play, the more you realize that you can actually sort of make this happen on purpose. Have the Zerglings pop out just as the Reaper shows up. But there is a second Reaper, and I don't think he's following it up with a third. No, he's got a reactor following this up. So just 2 Reaper pressure, which is like just the middle ground, right, between 1 Reaper and 3 Reapers. The 3 Reapers, like, you don't necessarily have to do damage, but obviously you're doing that because you want to do damage, and you're delaying your factory. The 2 Reapers is going to be enough to protect the initial Reaper and do a little bit more without committing too much. Meanwhile, we have Worldisdoom just getting enough gas for that speed. That speed is about 75% done. So these Reapers, recognizing the timing here, are going to end up backing off. They don't want to die to speedlings. And it's just drones from here for Worldisdoom. On the other side, we have a quick second command center on the high ground, so a little bit safe from GhostFire. But, I mean, because we've seen everything, we know that he could have built that on the low ground and not really had to worry too much. But that's okay. Going to delay his mining just a little bit to be a little bit safer. He's got the starport coming in, and he's starting to pump out some Hellions. And now he can gather a force of about 4 Hellions and 2 Reapers, and it's going to be really good at denying that creep spread. What I like out of Worldisdoom is he's got this third base nice and early. A lot of times these units here will also catch that drone in transition and pick it off before it can drop the third base, but he got it out there earlier than usual, so as to avoid getting picked off by these guys. And they can't really damage the hatchery too much. Although when these 2 Hellions meet up, You know, if there's nothing here at all to defend, then they can poke away for quite a while. Worldisdoom getting that creep spread started, dropping a spine crawler because he doesn't really have a lot of units here. He's just got queens, so he's going to be using those to defend. But here we go. The GhostFire looks like he's going to spend a little bit of time here, like I said, picking away at this hatchery. And I really don't think he's going to kill it, as the two queens are moving on their way here. But he's softening it up quite a bit, actually. And you know, we'll see here that once this once the queens push this away and this hatchery does finish up, it's going to be about half dead. So a follow-up attack later on will be pretty good. We do have double evolution chambers going down now. All the gases for Worldisdoom starting up. We should see that lair start up pretty soon. Pretty late actually on that lair. So I'm sure he'll be starting that really soon. And so far it looks like a basic Ling Bane type of game. But the 5 Hellbats have been moving in onto the third base, and there's only 2 queens to defend this. 18 Lings being produced right now. Didn't even realize an armory was in production. Been focusing kind of a lot on Worldisdoom. I apologize for that, GhostFire, but doing some pretty good harass with these Hellions, or Hellbats, and the Reaper, zoning the queens away. Not doing too much actual damage, but this third base is getting dangerously low. Looks like it might go down. There's a lot of Lings meeting up here, but down goes the third base, and I mean, I was going to say you can pick up and leave, but the queen's focusing down the medevac, and a lot of, pretty much everything's going to get cleaned up here. It looks like those Hellbats might be able to make an escape. But that's a pretty successful attack. I mean, you did lose the medevac, and you lost a few units, but you picked off the third base, and now that really hurts the Zerg player. Lair just starting now. Still no Baneling Nest on the way. I really thought we'd be seeing that. But that's a little bit greedy, having no Baneling Nest. If he would have had some Banes for that attack, things could have gone much better for him. These Lings going to try to chew away, but honestly, this one SCV and this one Marine here... Okay, he's going to pull a few more. Actually, clutch timing there. Is going to get the repair off. This Reaper can start picking away. I don't think he's going to... Yeah, no. Not going to do enough damage to break through there. Nice attempt, though. A Banshee to follow this up. And this is, so far, GhostFire been playing really well in the early game. Picking off some drones now. He's got 2 so far. Might get a third here. Oh, not quite. Just going to go ahead and pick away at that morphing lair. The third base is going down again. All the queens were on the other side of the map, so it's going to take them quite a while to get over here. And +1 melee, +1 carapace coming down for Worldisdoom. Let's take a look here. Do we have a third base yet for GhostFire? We do. Third base over here, getting started, and all the barracks are starting to get built now, dropping 6 barracks at once. I guess his macro slipped just a little bit during all that harassment he was doing. I did not catch. Okay, yeah, this is a different Banshee. Second Banshee come through. Here's the first one coming on in, attacking from both sides. The Spore Crawler is going to finish just in time, although there's a little bit of a soft spot here. 2 more drones going to be going down to this Banshee. Meanwhile, this guy is just still hammering away at the third base. 1 queen should be enough with a little bit of micro. Going to have to pull that queen to the Spore Crawler. He doesn't want to lose this. Actually, that queen is going to go down, so this Banshee going to be able to keep doing harassment damage. Meanwhile, this guy as well. I mean, GhostFire, he's got his harassment game on point. That initial Hellbat pressure into 2 Banshees harassing both sides of the map is just... oh, that one ended up going down. But yeah, it's just been a little bit too much for Worldisdoom here. He's been taking quite a lot of damage. Let's take a look here. Drones killed 9 so far. He does obviously still have a lead, and this is due to the fact that, you know, he was a little bit greedy, actually. He's only getting the Baneling Nest now. Does he have a Spire yet? Lair's finished, but no Spire. Here we go. Going to be going down. So, I mean, because these buildings are going down so late, and because he's survived so long on just a few Zerglings and Queens, this means that even though he took damage, he can actually still reproduce those drones pretty quickly. And, you know, we see that he's actually not in a terrible spot. Even though it looks like he's been getting pulled apart the entire game, he's actually pretty fine. Got a really good drone count right now. He's going to get a few more most likely. Got 3 hatches. He's got +2/+2 already started ahead of the Terran player. So I really like this idea, actually, as this opens up, as we do see a 4th base coming down over here. Nice timing on that, too. Having 2/2 available before the Terran player, I think, is amazing, because it opens up this window for the Zerg player to be really aggressive with his Lings and Banes right when +2 finishes, especially if the Terran player doesn't start his upgrades right away, which we see over here. the engineering base are not working right now. So even if it's like 10 more seconds or whatever, this is a window that is happening here for Worldisdoom. But he has to survive this drop here. We got 3 Widow Mines. Bro, gotta be careful. The friendly fire on those Widow Mines. I've seen terrible things happen to Terran medevacs with Widow Mines, so gotta be careful here. There's no Overseer, so getting some decent Widow Mine hits. Meanwhile, there's another drop over here at the third base. The medevac goes down. 1 Widow Mine does get dropped, and overall this has been cleaned up. The 2 medevacs evacuate, and there were a few more workers going down. We're up to 23 workers lost now. So that's a little bit bad. I mean, right now the worker count is almost even here, which is really bad for the Zerg player. So that means he's going to have to be spending more time building even more drones, which we see here instead of units. +2/+2 is about to finish, though. And by the way, +2 only just starting now for the Terran player. This Banshee is continuing to be annoying. 14 kills on that Banshee before it finally goes down. I probably missed a whole bunch of kills there from that Banshee, which is a little bit too bad. Nice little run by over here at the third, but well defended from GhostFire. GhostFire has been playing this out really well. I don't want to sort of get away from the fact that, you know, Worldisdoom is our hero for this match, but he's been having a tough go at it so far. He's been getting pretty pulled apart by GhostFire. Now 17 mutas are on the way. That's really good. He's got some lings on the field. If he knows that this army is here, he might be able to do something good here, but let's see. It looks like we're going to have another drop over at the third base. We do have another one over here in the main base. And once again, GhostFire, that dual-pronged harass here. These mutas got to be really careful. The lings join in. The medevacs will be going down. They're really low on health already. This drop gets cleaned up pretty easily. Widow Mine's still alive over here. And at the third base, another double drop coming in. More workers going down. Up to 28 workers killed. Now, mutas again have to be careful here. No, you don't want to be fighting those mutas. Oh my god, all these mutas are going to be going down so early. And the boost happens. A nice little sacrifice of that medevac, the weak medevac sacrificing itself so that the full one can get away. Those Widow Mines, oh, here we go. I knew they were going to come into play eventually. And boom, even more workers going down. 3 and 2, so 5 more workers going down and forcing Worldisdoom all the way back here to deal with these Widow Mines. And they can just pull out of range. Oh, that one's still in range, so never mind. Alright, we got almost full saturation for the Terran player over here. +2/+2 has started, like I said. +2 already finished for the Zerg player. Muta's going to come on in. See, I feel like Worldisdoom is missing a bit of an opportunity here, but it's not really his fault for missing it. It's just because he's been defending so hard all game. He hasn't really been able to put his +2/+2 to use for his Lings and Banes yet. I mean, I'm pretty sure... Well, no, I've seen him morph in some Banes before, but... Looks like this fourth base has been spotted from GhostFire. And there's a push on a creep here. Mutas do not want to be engaging this head first here. Finally, some Banelings coming in, getting some decent connections here, but also some decent pickups coming from GhostFire. Looks like we're going to try to harass the drone line from up here. And can they reach that far? It doesn't look like it. Nice idea, but no, Marines can't really shoot that far, so not going to work out. Lots of static D going down at the fourth base. This is a good idea, so you can just kind of forget about it. You don't really have to babysit it so much. Stray Baneling going off there. And the creep spread is beginning here for Worldisdoom. He can be doing a little bit of a better job with it, but it's getting there. It's going to get started soon. Again, we got the drops over here. The muta count is getting ginormous. Even though he's lost so many mutas, he's able to actually take some generally cost-inefficient fights. Now the Spine Crawlers are finishing up. Finally, these Marines are going to be going down here. And it looks like now, at around almost the 20-minute mark, Worldisdoom is starting to sort of stabilize a little bit. He's got a nice amount of Zerglings. I wish he had a little bit more Banelings. I wish his creep spread was a little bit better. These mutas are often getting caught out, but he's got a nice amount. It looks like he's focusing on a muta-heavy ZVT style, which is really good. And if we look here, well, there is a bit of a ring of turrets around the main base. Only one in the natural, so this base is not really well defended against mutas, so if they find that opening, might be able to do a good job. Mutas once again flying into a huge group of Marines. Here come the Banelings coming to try to force a little bit of micro. Widow Mine gets a decent hit, and the Lings are running into the natural. This is going to be a huge engagement for Worldisdoom. This is his chance to kind of pull the game back as he's making an attack on the natural, splitting up the Lings a little bit, going to be going into the third base as well. There's a ton of Widow Mines up here above the command center, but they're kind of out of position. Some Lings going off to trigger a couple of those Widow Mines, and these Mutas are doing a pretty good job on that mineral line in the third base. Getting a little bit sandwiched here between the Marines. I've got to be careful. That Widow Mine gets off a really nice shot on the Mutas. And I think that was Worldisdoom's first kind of glimpse at the fact that that natural mineral line is really not that well defended. There was something going on here. I saw a bunch of dead bodies. Looks like it was cleaned up pretty easily, though, from Worldisdoom. And like I said, I mean, looks like he's thinking about getting a 5th base here, so this game is really moving into the late game. A lot of Banelings morphing in for Worldisdoom. Still no hive yet. I don't see a hive. I don't even see an infestation pit, do I? No infestation. Yeah, no, that is a lair. Okay, no infestation pit yet for Worldisdoom. He's sticking on this lair tech, which I don't know if, like, I'm a fan of the hive tech. I really like Adrenal Glands +3/+3. You know, the option for ultras later on, because right now these Marines are about to have +3 attack. Now they don't have +3 armor yet, which, you know, is going to be even scarier once they eventually do get that. But the Terran army scales better in the late game, especially if you decide to skip out on hive. Wow, nice Widow Mine shots there. I don't think Worldisdoom knew there were that many Widow Mines burrowed in the center of the map. So yeah, I mean, the later this game goes on without a hive transition, I'm going to start favoring GhostFire more and more. That being said, it's not quite there yet. We do have a supply lead for Worldisdoom. He's got a nice worker count. Nice scan there from GhostFire. Knows where the army is. Going to prepare for a defense. And here we go. Oh, picking off 4 Widow Mines. It's a really nice pickup, especially right before he goes in for the attack. Here we go. Link streaming in. Still don't want to be fighting those Marines with your Mutas. In come the Banelings. And there's no real micro coming out of GhostFire. Actually, we're just going to go right up on into the main. The wall is up. And actually, GhostFire just GG's. And I guess that was the final killing blow coming from Worldisdoom. I mean, I think, as Worldisdoom is sticking in this game for a little bit too, just, you know, blowing his Banelings up on a couple things, I would run him into this this mineral line here. That's got to be pretty sweet. Hopefully he does that. I don't know. I think that was a little bit of an early GG. I definitely think that it was going to be a tough defense for sure. But it looks like the later the game went on, the stronger Worldisdoom became, and he survived the onslaught. That was definitely some hardcore harassment coming out of GhostFire. I'm sure he wins quite a few of his TVZs just based on that harassment alone. I don't know if I'd be able to defend it as well as Worldisdoom did. And that was kind of interesting, given the fact that he just delayed his Baneling Nest, his lair, and his Spire for so long. He basically defended that with just Lings and Queens, which means he took some extra losses. Yeah, kill all those SCVs. He took some extra losses, but because he had a bigger economy based on his opening, he was able to sort of recuperate that without being too far behind. It was pretty well done. Worldisdoom is literally just staying in this game until he kills everything. I don't really know. We're going to pause it, though. We don't want to watch the entire thing. But thank you, Worldisdoom, for sending me that replay. Guys, if you want your replay to be casted, remember what I said. Send me an email at gdoggcasey, SC2@gmail.com, and I'd be happy to cast it for you. It was a pleasure to cast this replay. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video.